best infielder only hit 143 last year.
Yeah, and I think, what, our best outfielder was like 210?
I thought we had a chance this year at the Little League World Series. We're not going to cut it with these guys, man.
No, we're not.
Dude, who are you calling?
My Uncle Bill's in town. He's usually pretty good at this stuff. Hey, Uncle Bill, are you busy? Uncle Bill, thanks so much for coming. We are in such a jam.
Yeah, man, our region's boundaries, dude, we got the worst players in the state in there.
Yeah, you gotta break down boundaries, you know. Find new ways to win.
Dude, that just got us a whole new infield.
How about this? Gotta work to give yourself a chance.
That just gave us the outfield, please.
Yeah!
Yeah, Cuba.
My work here is done.
Cuba, Illinois!
Yes,
nice!
sir. Viva Cubano, Viva Cubano, Viva Cubano.
Okay, time for the box score. I'll try it now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes live from New York, where they had a ton of comedians in the man cave today. Starting all things off was Jay Pharoah from Saturday Night Live, and even before he sat down with Dan, Paulie, he seemed to have you in stitches. I don't know if he was just making faces, or was there some sort of private show going on over there?
Well, you know what? I didn't know he was in the studio yet. I looked over my shoulder because we were getting ready to go to the break, and sometimes the guest is in the studio ready to go, and we tease him with a little shot. And I saw him, and sometimes people's faces make me laugh. Like, we had David Allen Greer here, who I think is genius, and he walked in, and I just start giggling because it's like everything they've done just starts running through your head, and I hope they take it the right way because it's a total compliment.
Very funny guy, and Fritzy, you actually had a bonding moment with him when you guys went toe-to-toe with your Shannon Sharpe impressions.
I think the Denver Broncos got to move on from Peyton Manning. They're not going to go anywhere. They lost the Super Bowl 43-8. They couldn't even get past the Colts. I don't know how you're going to get past the Colts. I thought it was going to be a rematch with the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. Peyton's got injuries, and it's time to move on. And
that's pretty good for a white guy.
It
is pretty good. It's Caucasian. It's pretty dope. That's pretty dope, man. Because Tanner thought he be every time it be talking, it be beating around everything. And what I really want to talk about by now is the peanut butter. Now, I like a peanut butter sandwich. I like to take a peanut butter. I like to take a jelly. I put a pepper. I put a pepper. You what? I put a pepper. And then I eat the peanut butter sandwich.
He's crying! He's crying!
He's so funny. It was a great moment that Dan allowed me to try my Shannon Sharpe impersonation and not go toe-to-toe with Jay, but just even have a little bit of interaction and try to do the same impersonation with a big star from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, you just had a cast member of Saturday Night Live call your impression dope.
That was crazy. And I just, it's moments like that, and Dan always goes out of his way to make sure we all have some type of special moment at some point, whether it's a catch with Joe Montana or whatever it is, or snuggling up with a supermodel. So that was big. That was really cool to have Jay here and have a little fun at Shannon Sharpe's expense.
Brock, sometimes I feel not bad, but like pressure for the comedians who come in here. Like when a comedian comes in here, he basically has to entertain us. We do our best to set him up, but he's a comedian. Basketball players, you go to watch play basketball.
Yeah.
Comedians, you watch to make you laugh. And when a comedian comes in here, I think there's a lot of pressure because he doesn't really know what we're going to ask. We don't do pre-interviews. Maybe we should with comedians, but then it would be all canned and fixed. And when we've had other guys in here before who were like C+, B-, Bs. He was an A+. I'm still thinking about how good he was. He stepped on the gas and was cutting loose, energy. He didn't phone it in any way. It was actually the opposite. I'm a big fan of his now. I always knew he was good on SNL, but I didn't realize what a talent he was.
And there's no studio audience where they're flashing in applause. I mean, granted, it's us, it's our little group, and we're laughing, usually off mic in the background. But that is a lot of pressure when you don't have this big group to play off of that, that's laughing or being told to laugh by some stage manager. So that's a tough thing to be really funny here.
McLovin, put on your critic hat. Who did the better Shannon Sharpe? Was it Jay or Fritzy?
Fritzy was actually closer to Shannon Sharpe. Probably. Well, yeah, actually, but I mean, no offense, because I love your Shannon Sharpe. Actually, I don't even like it. No offense. But Jay Pharoah's was a lot funnier.
Jay Pharoah did a fantastic job. I'll be glad to. I'm not offended. I'll take a backseat to any impersonation that Jay Pharoah does.
Although Jay Pharoah definitely threw it in, as we were talking about. What is the character from Fat Albert.
Mushmouth.
Yeah, he was kind of thrown into Mushmouth there. There's a little Mushmouth.
Great, though.
Well, Fritz, you did hang in there with Jay, but throughout the interview, Jay showed why he is on SNL and maybe you're a booker.
And it's more just like, me just naturally just talking and, being, you know what I'm saying? I'm on this sexy show with Dan Patrick. They got everything up in here. You got an oven, so you can cook cookies. I feel like, what I can do, I don't know anything about sports, but what I do know is about the outfits that I design that they could potentially wear. I did talk about the hairline because that is the easiest thing. The target. That is disrespectful, blasphemous for Jay Pharoah to talk about my hairline. I keep it lined up, even though it's halfway back to the back of my neck. Wait a second. First of all, hair wasn't like that before. Bow. It's like, no, your hair wasn't like that. Listen, Ron, first of all, what you need to do is you need to admit that you're getting plugged. That's what's happening. Bow. I'm in Magic Mike. Magic Mike. Whole bunch of naked people walking around. If your wife hasn't been laid, of course she's gonna go and see it. Either that or 50 Shades of Grey.
That was freaking genius. I'm glad I can see it again. If you just showed me there, I was laughing my ass off on the side. The way he could go, not just do the imitation, but be funny with the imitation. A lot of people can imitate someone's voice, but he's talking about like a cartoon with Chris Rock, and he went right to it. And just really impressive, really impressive.
Such a solid impressionist. Seton, which one was your favorite impression that he did?
Man, I thought the Chris Rock just absolutely destroyed. Although I don't know how he ended up Shannon Sharpe talking about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't know where you pulled that one from, but it was perfect. I mean, it was, a boo-boo-boo-boo-boo, a boo-boo-boo-boo-boo, and then he's going, what?
I like when he goes, what, to himself.
Right, yeah, he's having a conversation, and you're like, dude, what?
Do you think you could tell the difference if Eddie Murphy was here and Jay Pharoah was here? Do you think you would know which one was talking?
Not by much. When he did the Eddie Murphy, if you had a camera on Seton and I, he said one word, and
we were like,
wow! It was like getting hit in the face with comedy. It was just so good. And, oh man, just home run by Jay Pharoah.
Yeah. It was, and one that did make the clip there was Jay-Z, so solid job on that. Jay Pharoah, of course, wasn't the only funny guy to stop by today. Stick around. One of Seton's faves came into the New York City Man Cave.
As we go into commercial break, what you need to know is that Dan Patrick Show is one of the best sports analysis shows ever, analyze shows ever. I grew up watching him, so if you don't watch him, then you have a problem, brother. Or, are you serious? That's blasphemous. Go to commercial.
Welcome back to the Box Score. Seton, you were really stoked to have Bill Burr on today. Is he on your comedian Mount Rushmore?
Man, I don't know if I could put him in the top 4 of like great comedians of all time, but currently, right now, he's definitely my favorite. I'm mildly obsessed and sort of fangirling over some of his bits, and whatever, it is what it is. Sometimes you turn into a 16-year-old. What are you gonna do?
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, you had 3 comedians in today. We'll get to Smigel later, but you had Bill Burr, Jay Pharoah, and Robert Smigel, and they all dropped F-bombs today. Was that the first time you've ever had 3 for 3 on the F-bombs in the man cave?
Oh, I can't. Yeah, this is unprecedented. I can't think of another time that we went an F-bomb in all 3 hours of the show by 3 different guests.
I think we warned 2 of them, too.
I'm telling you.
We've warned all 3 of them. We absolutely warned all 3. One of the F-bombs was dropped when giving the story about other people dropping the F-bomb. And you're like,
they were fully warned, but I guess we're so used to it here. I just said, you're about to be live, watch your mic, assume you're live.
Well, we don't give enough credit, actually, or like pay enough attention to how confusing the show really is when you're sitting in here doing it, and like you have one guy yelling like,
we're back.
10 seconds, we'll be back, and then like, somebody's gonna come and sit down here because they think they're doing radio, but you're actually just doing like the looking
and you're dealing with comedians that use that kind of language more often than not. I mean, almost every sentence.
It is actually a really confusing show setup if you're not familiar with it.
I wonder if you, by warning them, you put it in their mind too.
I think so.
Like, don't say this word, and then
don't think of a pink elephant.
Yeah. Mother.
Well, Bill is a Boston guy and a huge sports fan. I guess being in New York City, he couldn't help but have some fun at the expense of a Yankee legend.
I just feel the guy played in a segregated league in like the 1920s. I mean, when the guy played, like women couldn't even vote. You know what I mean? It's like comedy was like this vaudeville stuff. Like we barely learned how to fly. Like, you know, the fifth guy in the rotation had like tuberculosis. I mean, it was ridiculous. So I'm just saying. And the guys are going like, dude, the guy could win a Cy Young and hit 60 home runs. Exactly. Just like when I played in that softball league in my warehousing days, there was always that fat ringer who'd come up and take you a yard, and then he was on the mound pitching like, you know, calling out shortstop, and he'd throw some spin, and as much as you try to go the other field, you hit it right to the shortstop.
Yeah, I don't know, that's an interesting argument. I haven't really heard the Babe Ruth is overrated.
You don't hear that a lot.
Yeah, you don't get that one too often. Although I liked how he sort of, everything that was like sort of used as proof as how great Babe Ruth is was actually proof to Bill Burr at how great he wasn't. Right. Which is, I've never heard that tactic.
You know what stood out to me about that thing is that Bill Burr, as he's rolling on that bit, he said like the fifth starter had tuberculosis and we all break up. And he kept going. I don't think that was planned out. I don't know if he's worked that one out or done that one on stage before, but he heard our room yelling and laughing, and he just kept going until the laughter kind of died. And he was creating riffs and jokes on the fly, I think based off our response, not that he had this whole Babe Ruth bit ready to go.
Right, where he had the pause, expecting where the laugh would be inserted.
And then as soon as it kind of faded out, he's like, all right.
Well, he seemed to like have places he wanted to go. You know, he had things that he wanted to talk about. He wanted to talk about the Babe Ruth thing. He wanted to. He did an interesting way of sort of controlling the interview a little bit by saying like, no, over here, I want to get back to this thing, or I want to go to the Patriot stuff, or I want to.
He did say if Babe Ruth played in today's game, he'd have 600 and something homers. He did end his career with 714. So it's not like saying Babe Ruth would 10%. Yeah, but. You know, but all I say is Babe Ruth, there were a lot of players playing in that weak league, and nobody was within 50% as good as he was.
Take that, Bill Burr.
Wow.
And by the way, that fat guy at the softball game, those guys are awesome, too. Like, that's pretty, you know, Ted. You know, I love what he said, he puts a spin on it so it goes to shortstop.
Yeah.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
McLovin, let me ask you this question, though. Who was more excited, Fritzy when Aaron Heatherton came in, or Seton when Bill Burr came in today?
Wow. Well, they're different kinds of excitement. Like, Fritzy kind of.
Yeah, you could feel Seton's excitement. You could see Fritzy's.
Seton didn't have to hide behind his desk for that entire segment. Like a seventh grader.
Guilty as charged. Don't call me up to the blackboard.
It is odd though that like Fritzy like at one point was making fun of me for like I did all of this prep and research and stuff, and like yeah, I sort of treated Bill Burr the way Fritzy treats supermodels, where I'm looking up these facts or whatever. I didn't send like pictures of him half naked to Dan, but you know if I would have found them,
sure,
I certainly would have.
Not for the lack of looking.
I would hope so.
Yeah, and if you ever get a chance to, Seton, you were talking about Bill Burr tearing up that audience in Philadelphia. We looked at that, so Google that. That is absolutely hilarious. Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Don't go away. We have an SNL pop quiz for the guys. You're gonna love this one.
I am Adam Sandler. You are watching The Box Score on Audience, Channel 239. It makes you feel good.
Oh, welcome back to The Box Score. Thank you, Sandman. There was a ton of talk about the Saturday Night Live today and its glorious 40-year run. And you can't hit a milestone like that without having our crazy producers coming up with some sort of pop quiz to try to stump you guys. So here it is, something we call Live from New York. That's it. Okay, what we're going to do is row versus row. We're going to ask you questions regarding Saturday Night Live. Each row gets a guess on these. Yes, sir.
Before we get started, I just got to say I love the fact that we got Adam Sandler to sit down and do liners for the Box Score, but we did not have him do liners for the Dan Patrick Show. That, I freaking love that. He did a whole bunch for the Box Score, and nobody said, hey, why don't you do a couple for the Dan Patrick Show? That is gold.
Well, that's what we do here on the Box Score. All right, this one, first question is for the back row. Who was the first host of Saturday Night Live?
I've got a guess for a steal if we could jump in on that.
Well, you'll get your guess, Seton. That's not a problem.
Who's the one that's hosted so many times, like bald guy?
George Carlin.
No, is it really? Maybe.
I think it's Carlin.
Okay.
I want to say George Carlin.
Okay, I'm thinking somebody else that's hosted many, many times. But
we're gonna try George Carlin.
All right, front row, your guess.
Well, I know Fritzy was looking for the name Buck Henry.
Yes.
Buck Henry hosted a lot early.
Oh, snap.
I don't know if he was the first one.
Wow, see, I went Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor is a good
first.
one. I don't think he was definitely not first.
I thought Buck Henry was a cast member.
Buck Henry was a regular host.
He hosted a lot.
And
that might be
Richard
a
Pryor
great
did
guess.
season 2 with
I think you might be
Belushi
right
and
there.
Samurai
Oh, you might
Delicatessen. And we're going Buck Henry because of the odds.
With the steal.
Good guess on Buck Henry, but it was George Carlin on October 11th, 1975.
Good
First
job.
up to host.
Wow.
Second question, which actor hosted Saturday Night Live the most? Front row, you have the honors.
Now is it
Tom
Buck
Hanks?
Henry, Tom Hanks.
Steve Martin was up there.
Five-time club?
Oh, there's like, it's like Alec Baldwin, Tom Hanks, Steve Martin. They're all up
Martin's
there.
a great guess.
They're like the dozen club or something. Crap.
You want to go Steve Martin?
Okay. Steve Martin?
Okay, back row, your guess.
Teacher. Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Back row is
Alec
correct.
Baldwin,
It
baby.
is Alec Baldwin 16 times.
Just past
I just want-
Buck Henry.
I just need to point out one thing, okay? One person sitting on this panel had just read the behind the like autobiography or whatever of Saturday Night Live. I don't know if you're aware of who that might be here, but
I literally just read like 10 minutes ago that Alec Baldwin hosted the most time. 10 minutes ago.
we had him in
Nice
our list
time.
though.
Yeah.
Timeliness.
All right, then you would be completely embarrassed if you missed this one, back row. Who replaced the great Chevy Chase after he left SNL in the second season?
Oh, that's ridiculous. Bill Murray, obviously. Bill Murray.
Front row, your guess?
Bill Murray.
You are smart, front row. You are smart. It is Bill Murray replacing him in 77. Fourth question. In what year did Adam Sandler, box score fan, join the cast of SNL? Front row, take it away.
Is he like not? He was after Dana. Huh?
86?
No way. He's got to be in the 90s.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's got to be like a 96er.
That late?
No, it's got to be earlier than that because I was in high school singing all those songs.
91?
Opera Man.
I don't know.
You guess.
1991.
1991, 1992.
Two.
All right, back row, your guess.
1991.
I would just say 91 because I saw him in college when he was on the cast.
All right, let's go. We'll go 91 then. We're going to say 91.
Okay, well,
91.
the actual answer is 1990. 1990, so no.
All right, we were 1 year closer. That's all right. We're right there.
Our last question is worth 2 points. How many of his SNL co-stars were in the Adam Sandler comedy Grown Ups? Back row.
Oh.
Chris Rock, David.
Okay.
Is our question?
Yeah, well, so all right, Chris Rock, David Spade, Tim Meadows.
Rob Schneider, okay.
Was Schneider in Grown Ups? I don't remember.
Grown Ups or
being-
Grown Ups 2?
Grown Ups 1.
Like the Boogaloo.
I think it's just 3.
Grown Ups 1.
What did you say? What did you have so far?
I have definitely Chris Rock,
Right.
David Spade, Tim Meadows.
Okay.
I know he was in 2. I don't remember if he was in 1. Darn it. Was Dan Patrick on so at least 3.
He's not on SNL.
Oh, Maya Rudolph 4.
Okay. There's a 4.
Yeah. Oh man, there's got to be more. Why don't I just guess 5? Did
All
you
right.
say? We're gonna go 5.
Let's go 5.
All right, front row, your guess.
Brock, is this closest to the hole?
No.
We're gonna guess 6.
You don't need to be closest hole when you hit the hole. It is front row with 6. It was Chris Rock, David Spade,
That's a big 2-pointer.
Rob Schneider, Tim Meadows, Norm Macdonald, and
kneeling
Colin
to it.
Quinn. And for clarification for you, McLovin,
Oh, Colin Quinn.
Maya Rudolph was an SNL
Darn it.
cast
Wow.
member, but not during the Sandler area. So sorry.
Wow.
Nitpicking.
Colin Quinn.
Well, with that, we have a tie. So congratulations to everyone. Stay
I'm
with
sure
us.
you have a tiebreaker question ready.
I'm sure we do. And we'll get to it after the break. How about this? Coming up next, we've got one more comedic act on deck, and he will make you poop your pants. We are closing up shop here on the box score. You guys had several comedic treats in the man cave today. You had Jay Pharoah, Bill Burr, and of course, Triumph.
Next question.
So much exciting programming on NBC lately, right? This fall, we had Allison Williams playing Peter Pan, and this winter, Brian Williams playing blank. Boom, 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 boom. You're not writing. You're not writing it down. Okay. Exciting programming on NBC lately. Allison Williams in Peter Pan. Brian Williams starring in...
I didn't write anything down.
Come on, someone has to know this one. Bam! Sorry, the correct answer is Brian Williams as Pinocchio. Pinocchio. Peter Pan, Pinocchio.
That was very good. Unfortunately, it went over all of our heads, and I wasn't thinking like another cartoon type Disney show. And I was just trying to think of anything with lying or fibbing, whether it's a movie, TV show. And we were all sitting quietly.
Liar?
And
Is Liar Liar a TV show?
No, it was a movie. I was just thinking of anything that was either a TV or a movie that could fit with what Brian Williams did. And just Liar Liar, Jim Carrey came to mind. And obviously, there was something a lot more funny that Robert Smigel / Triumph, the insult comic dog, was looking for.
How about we do this for a tiebreaker? Front row, you give us your best skit on Saturday Night Live of all time, and back row, you give us yours, and you need to convince the producers who's right on this one.
Wow, favorite skit of all time.
Well,
whoa, that's a tough question.
My favorite skit of all time is the synchronized swimming.
Oh, that was
I'm with you. You know what? I'm with you. That's is that Christopher Guest?
And Martin Short.
And Martin Short.
Hey, you. I know you. I know you. It's classic. It's actually, that's what we're doing in the Know Your Row Open. We're doing synchronized chairing.
Never fails to make me laugh.
In honor of that.
No, we might have to pull out a heavy hitter
Well,
here.
see, I always loved Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood with the Cabbage Patch Kid and when he stuck the letters on. But Eddie Murphy pretending to be white on the bus and everything and trying to get a bank loan.
I was gonna say, there's nothing funnier than Matt Foley.
Take it.
Matt Foley is Rachel
but that, the specific one of Eddie Murphy, what you can get away with if you're white in America.
Eddie Murphy is Mr. White. We'll go with that.
Take it.
Although we love synchronized swimming.
Yeah,
too.
just eking out the synchronized swimmers. You hit the producer right in the sweet spot. Eddie Murphy.
Well
Eddie
done,
Murphy
guys.
as the white guy. I mean, you take that
Wow, that's
newspaper.
great.
You don't notice anything. Fritzy, my friend, who is on
I'm buying
tomorrow?
this newspaper. What are you doing?
Who's on tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow, I'm sorry. We may hear from Carmelo, and we are going to hear from Ray Lewis. And Dan's mom's going to visit us heading into Valentine's Day weekend in our Milford studios.
Valentine's Day. It's about someone.
Yeah, that's actually...
No segue there.
No segue at all?
Very awkward,
But it's Valentine's weekend, and
like
we're going to spread some love and cheer on a Friday. And Friday, Fritzy will be there.
Alice Valentine.
Oh yeah, and it's Friday.
Hartley Dykes.
Oh yeah.
Hartley Dykes.
I got
Candy Maldonado somehow makes it in every holiday.
Larry Flowers. Pete
Rose.
Rose.
All that good stuff. Thank you, guys.
Chocolate Thunder, Daryl Dawkins. Chocolate Thunder.
Thanks for watching The Box Score. We are back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern right here on Audience Channel 239, or the podcast is available on iTunes or at podcastone.com.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees. Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching The Box Score. Holy cow!